envelopes, as it's referred to in the construction industry, meaning that you're not allowing for any air to be leaking or any energy to leak out of the house.
Good.
How can you ensure that while the testing of the energy efficiency, we are actually training people and encouraging people to pursue these trades and these jobs. And there's a growing demand for it. And you're going to continue to see that growing demand again as communities require more progressive building codes that stress energy efficiency. And I want to underscore again, Barrett, you made a very good point. You know, sometimes when we talk about green construction, clean tech, people immediately start thinking about these very exotic, very expensive energy generating systems. The truth is we can be very energy efficient by installing the right type of insulation, by making sure that we're using the right type of lighting and light bulbs.
Or window replacements.
Window replacements as well. Roofing systems, wall systems, the pipes that people use. Oftentimes, if you wrap some additional insulation to the pipes, the types of appliances, there are Energy Star appliances. That speaks to the amount of energy that these appliances use for the purposes of operation. Water consumption is also a very important component of energy conservation. And you know, these are things that many of us can do right now.
What's the mechanism for requiring an energy audit, or is there?
It depends. There are different types of systems in place. You have a certification system called Energy Star. That's probably the most common one associated with these energy audits.
I'm talking about blower tests for a home. Is there any type of an ordinance that's been proposed, or are we pretty far away from that yet?
No, well, it depends. It depends, again, on what the requirement for the building code calls for. So, for instance, in my ward, I'll give you an example.
Well, that's right. Each ward in the city of Chicago has a different...
Well, it may have a practice. I mean, we have our standardized building code. But in my ward, what I've done is I've required builders who are asking support from the city, from our community, for any type of zoning relief or density bonus, that they first must apply and be eligible for the 3-star rating under the Green Homes for Chicago program, which is a special certification that uses a combination of LEED's certification and a combination of Energy Star.
Let's talk about what LEED's certification is, because you and I talk about that often, but the public probably doesn't know about it.
It's Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design.
And that was an acronym established by whom?
Well, that's the U.S. GBC, the Green Builders Council.
Okay, fine.
That was developed for the purposes of, again, promoting energy efficient construction. Now, not to
Which is the easiest, cheapest way of people saving energy and reducing their pollution and saving money.
Reducing our carbon footprint.
Right.
Where we're being a little bit more conscientious. But it's also, again, I mean, and the environmental stewardship is important. But let's look at the benefits here. We're talking about energy savings, especially in a time where our economy is struggling. People are fearful of losing their jobs. We need to be, conscientious of our savings. Energy conservation can help in that regard. Let's take a look at the economic potential for this. The reality is we need to move away from an oil-powered economy. If you take a look at our national security interests alone, you take a look at global warming. The reality is global warming is having a real negative impact on our quality of life. How are we going to make that change? I would submit to you and to our viewers that here you have a remarkable opportunity to transform our economy into a more efficient economy, an economy that's relying on renewable energy, and you're going to need jobs. The reality is we're going to be developing new industries in addition to the industries that currently exist that we can retrofit, but at the same time usher in a new age with innovation, with smarter building, transportation.
Well, you're talking about smarter buildings, so why don't we use it as a segue to talk about the green exchange that happened in your ward. Tell us a little bit about what it was like before it happened. This is a mall that has some great, interesting new green technologies to it.
Well, I would say the green exchange represents this vision of these green collar jobs that again, many people are talking about. The Green Exchange is a 270,000 square foot facility. It was always a manufacturing facility. The company that was there was a Cooper Lamp. It was always known as a Cooper Lamp building. Went out of business, couldn't compete with the Chinese anymore. How many times do we hear about that in mainstream America, right? Where we're talking about manufacturing companies having a real challenge competing in this new global economy. Company went out of business. We lost 110 jobs. These were working men and women from my community that I represent. The only viable plans that we were offered in the very beginning when the company closed was for redevelopment of the facility into a residential complex.
Condos.
More condos. And not that that's wrong,
right.
But I was very concerned about not only the short-term implications, but also the long-term implications for that community in terms of jobs. We were fortunate that we have a very active community. We developed a task force to deal with this challenge. We came up with a concept and a premise that our priority was going to be job retention, job creation and job retention. We were lucky that we found a development team that shared that vision. Working together, we developed this concept of creating a community under one roof where all the businesses would be considered green businesses. Now, some who are watching right now may ask, well, what the heck does that mean? Yeah. It really is related to this notion of being looking at energy conservation and efficiency. It could be professional services. It could be a restaurant that offers organic food that's green. It could be a company that sells products that are considered to be sustainable for construction. And so the Green Exchange is a green business mall or green business community. The building itself is being retrofitted, and it will be, the developers are looking to aim for LEED's Platinum certification, which is the highest level of certification that you can attain. And so it's a real model for the city. It's a real model for the country, for that matter. And it has received a lot of attention. And so we're using that now as a spearhead to also look at other assets that we have in the community. We have a nearby public housing complex that's going to be redeveloped in the Chicago Housing Authority's plan for transformation. That should be Lathrop Homes, which is within a half mile of the Green Exchange. I've been working with CHA and other community stakeholders and urging people to really look at this plan as an opportunity to create a LEED's certified neighborhood development, which is in its infancy stages in a pilot program right now, but I think also sending another powerful message of providing for affordable, good quality building stock, but that's also energy efficiency to save people money, and at the same point, offer people employment opportunities. The residents of Lathrop Homes, I think, will have an opportunity for employment to take advantage of these very green-collar jobs that are going to be offered in the actual construction of the project, and then beyond. If we take a look at creating an energy generating system that could be part of the development. We also have an industrial corridor that's not too far from Lathrop Homes and the Green Exchange that we're looking also. We're analyzing it right now with the state, the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. We're focusing on this industrial corridor. Has been underperforming, frankly, now for many years. Instead of, again, throwing in the towel, changing the zoning, and putting more residential, I want to challenge ourselves. I want a new vision, and I believe that we can transform this industrial corridor into an eco-industrial corridor, into a sustainable manufacturing district, helping the businesses.
And you said without displacing any of the owners that are there.
Let's help, first of all, the businesses who are there, who are toughing it out, who are making that commitment. How can we help them to become more energy efficient? How can we, as a municipality, reinvest in the infrastructure using green infrastructure technologies,